If you're a Dead by Daylight enthusiast, you've no doubt wondered how certain killers would smell. On this channel, we explore the unknown to make the unknown known, and promptly forget about it being known due to the brain rot epidemic resulting in the gradual unknowing of civilization that creates a death spiral of entropy in the vast intellectual infrastructure of society. We ask many timeless questions. What is the meaning of life? Are we alone in the universe? Who let the dogs out? Who? Alas, these are questions for another day. Today's question, however, is what do the various killers in Dead by Daylight smell like? Let's all sit back and relax as we find the answer to our gravity-laden question. Alright, we got the killer tier list set up here. I feel like most of the DBD killers probably smell pretty bad. They all look
yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Fairly stinky.
I do agree with that if you want to be 100%.
I'm a completely normal person, I swear. Welcome to my completely normal stream. Okay, yeah, so we got stinky tier list here. Let's start with Trapper. So Trapper probably doesn't smell great right out the rip. Because he does clearly skin a lot of animals and he wears like a weird thing on his face. He probably smells pretty stanky, so we're gonna go ahead and put him in the D tier. Wraith. While Wraith looks a little yucky, he also turns invisible, right? And so I like to imagine that like the ick might come off of him when he's invisible, right? Like, hear me out. But yeah, I'm leaning more towards like maybe a C or a B tier for Wraith because there are so many killers in here who set the bar really low. So we're gonna be playing with like fractions of a fraction of like unpleasant odor. Billy definitely, well, Billy's hard because people are like, oh, he's covered in people's skin. That's actually just his skin. He just looks gross. Right, he just looks yucky. I need to move my my chin over to here. There we go.
It definitely lingers even though he's invisible.
Yeah, he's just a little yucky. It's okay. Let's see what we're doing. Oh yeah, Billy. So it's not, obviously it's not his fault, but he's pretty yucky. He's got like staples on his arm. He's definitely got some infections going on there. So we're gonna go ahead and plop him into the D tier as well, because he is fairly yucky. Next we have the nurse. So while she is a medical practitioner, we need to acknowledge the fact that she is a little bit yucky, but she makes up for it in her personality. No, but so she is mostly clothed, right? So we also have to consider proximity into this as well. I think proximity is very important for the like just raw stank. Fun fact, one of the Chucky movies for Tiffany, they actually had like Jennifer Tilly playing herself in the movie, and Jennifer Tilly voices Tiffany, and so Tiffany saw Jennifer Tilly and she's like, she's beautiful. If you guys haven't watched the Chucky movies in chronological order, please do it. It's so entertaining. They are better than they have any right to be. But so we have to also consider the proximity of the stank, right? Because most of these killers up close probably don't smell great. So Nurse obviously would be in the D tier with how bad, but due to the fact that she is a medical practitioner, so she does understand the importance of disinfectant and antiseptics and all that stuff, I will rate her minimum C tier, and the clothing also, I believe, would honestly bump her up to B tier, because she is masking the stank with the clothes. All right, welcome back, though.
Wow. Oh, hello. No, I'm in it. Okay,
cool.
So we have, what did I miss while I was heating up my soup?
So we did Trapper, Billy, Wraith, and we just finished Nurse. So we've got Myers now. What do you think about Michael Myers?
I would definitely say Mike Myers stinks, yeah. I mean, there's just like the mask. It just is not giving good.
It's not
dental hygiene. I don't know.
No,
and like ventilation, not. Like he's got the jumpsuit on. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
That's not very breathable. That thing's thick AF.
Absolutely. You know? Yeah. So this Myers definitely does not look ideal. So he's gonna have the blood smell on the outside, right? He may not look like he's bloody right now, but we have to consider the average experience of being Michael Myers. You know, you have to consider the average of his life, as well as the proximity. So he does have proximity going for him, because 90% of his skin is covered by clothing, so the smell is definitely masked quite a bit. But
Davey also just said, isn't he like rotting? I think he is.
No, you're thinking of Jason. Jason's the one that's rotting underneath his stuff. Yeah, he's real yucky.
You're right.
He got mask breath. Ooh, yeah. There's the back to the dental hygiene. So I'm gonna go ahead and put him on the C tier because he does have a lot of issues, but he still has proximity going for him because of his clothing. Hag is definitely going to have to go ahead and be D tier for me. And here's why. She stank. She nasty.
I
Look at her.
understand. I understand. No, actually, pull her up. Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, you are. Sorry, I'm not.
Yeah, no, I got her.
Okay. Here's the thing about Hag. I am a Hag main. When I play killer, I really like Hag. I don't know. Like, she is mummified.
She is.
So it's like, at this point, does it smell like anything? You know?
Exactly. That's kind of why I'm revisiting it.
I would say C tier initially.
Yeah, the baseline is elite because she's dry. She's very dry. So as long as there's not any strong wind or rain, she's good.
She's good. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, like proximity, I would say like kind of a neutral. She's definitely going to stink in a bigger radius compared to Myers. She's definitely going to have a bigger like reach with her funk. I imagine mummies don't smell great.
I think I just am so soft for her because she's my killer, you know?
Yeah.
I love her so much. I literally love her so much.
Yeah, I think C tier is fair, honestly. So we have the doctor next. That's going to be a hard one because he is just like nurse, he is a medical practitioner. So he understands the importance of like a clean environment, but he's a little burnt, he's a little charred, and he definitely needs some new clothes. So burnt flesh and hair is a big one. So that's gonna knock him down to minimum C tier, but he could go lower. Okay. Wait, do you have any thoughts?
I would say C tier for now. I think as we get further, it's possible he could go higher or lower.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say higher. I think C is as high as it would get. I think it could go D.
Yeah, because again, it's like a very dry kind of stank. He doesn't have a lot of moisture on his skin because of the burns. But again, like that smell, that carries. Like that will make a whole room, like a whole house, a building, if you will, a domicile for that matter. So yeah, I think C. All right, next we got the Huntress.
That woman does not stink.
You don't think so?
She grew up in the woods.
She did grow up in the woods.
Lived her whole life like that. Like, was like raised by animals and shit.
True.
I would not say. I think that maybe she smells like the woods, but like I would say initial thought like B tier.
B tier? Yeah, I think so. I think B tier is fair.
I don't know.
So I would only say B tier because she's pretty dirty. She's not wearing any shoes. So that's a big one. The axe is bloody, so she's got that kind of coppery iron smell around her.
Sure.
Now, we also have to consider the clothing. So she is very well clothed, but her clothes look a little moist. So there might be kind of a mold factor there. So that's why I would say not A tier. And I would also be worried about animal stench on her as well. That's another thing to consider. Like, she might be covered in cat. We really don't know. Oh my god.
You're not necessarily wrong.
No, I have Bad to the Bone randomly playing for 1 hour, and as soon as I said covered in cat, it immediately played.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's funny.
But she is cute, so I feel like that does maintain B tier.
I think B. Oh, hi, Morty. Team cute.
We got Bubba. I'm gonna go ahead and just say right out the gate D tier because a lot of moist stank, a lot of BO, and he literally has. Go ahead, sorry.
The flesh mask.
Yeah.
No, it's the flesh mask.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like,
no, you're right.
It's literally a mask made out of human flesh.
Yep. You can see D-tier. He definitely has bad breath. Obviously he's D tier, but also look at his teeth. Look at all two of his teeth. He's so gross. He's so yucky. I'm also a fan of Old Lady, though. Old Lady is probably my favorite skin of his. D tier is the ultimate settling spot, to be honest.
Yeah. You guys want to hear more?
Yes, please. So next we have Freddy Krueger. Freddy's probably pretty stinky, I'm going to say.
I'd say, yeah, very low detour. Maybe F.
He would probably be F, because we're talking, like, fleshy demon from the pits of hell. Like there is nothing pleasant smelling down there. No. Okay, so we have Amanda next, the pig.
I was gonna say Amanda herself I wouldn't think would stink at all, but I wonder with the pig mask.
So the pig mask would probably have some decent formaldehyde smell to it, but because she is a stealth killer, I imagine her scent is probably masked quite a bit. You definitely can't see her coming. You can hear her when she does her growl. So I would say just because of the mask, that's like kind of cuts out S tier. She might be a low qualifying A tier. I could honestly say A tier for her.
I kind of was going to say A tier off the bat, and then I kind of started thinking about the pig mask.
Yeah.
She's just a human. She smells like bacon, Iris says.
True. There is, and bacon smells good. That might cancel it out a little bit.
I would say A tier. Yeah, I'd say
A tier because
I don't-
bacon. All right, so next we have the clown.
Bottom of the f***ing list,
Bottom.
as low as you can freaking go. Oh my god, I can curse now.
G tier.
Bottom of the list. No. If F tier existed for only one killer, it's the clown.
It's the
that
clown.
man smelled so unbelievably bad. When he walks by plants, they begin to wither. That
Yeah.
man smells so bad. It's unbelievable. Like, you've never smelled anything that bad in your life. Yeah. Yeah. As low as humanly possible.
He's got jelly belly physics. He's got like jiggle belly physics. It's
I kind
great.
of do love that about him.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I mean, I think it's kind of fun.
Everyone's
but
like, absolutely not.
Yeah, everybody agrees. Low as humanly possible. Blue says it. Yeah. He is Z tier.
So next we
H for
have
hazardous.
the spirit. So she is kind of from a weird, like kind of purgatory-esque like plane of existence, and I feel like she would have an odor, but it's very unique.
I completely agree with that.
She definitely would have the scent of rot, but there would be like this kind of weird, unique smell along with it. So just for that, I feel like she belongs in the B tier, personally. Because where she come from, clearly there's not a need for an olfactory sense.
You know what? There's got to be, like you said, something. Like, there's some sort of, like, almost, like, otherworldly weird.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about, like, people talk about what space smells like? It's got to be something like that, you know?
Yeah.
I would say pretty high B tier, though.
Yeah.
I don't think A, but I think relatively high on B.
I agree. Oh, she's so...
Wait.
She's so precious.
Oh my god, she's so cute! I love that skin.
Yeah.
I would say high B.
Yeah, high B, definitely. Just because of, if she wasn't all rotten, then it'd probably bump her up quite a bit. Oh, her geisha skin looks really, really... I like how this is just turning into us looking
my
at her
God.
skins.
God, she is such a pretty... Oh, that is really pretty.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh my god, she's such a pretty princess. Oh my god,
Bro.
she's ready for the
is.
beach episode of the anime. I love her so bad, actually.
That's so cool.
I love her. If it was based
Yeah.
off of how much I love her, she would be S tier.
Oh, of
but I do
course.
think B.
I feel like we landed on a good spot for her, though. That was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Okay, so next we have the leg.
Legion is 4 separate people. Because one of those people is a girl, I feel like that does put it slightly higher. But the I mean, at 4 people, it's like, where's the medium, you know?
Right.
I would say
We're talking about
maybe
an average stank. You know what I mean?
yeah, because I definitely think like 1 or 2 of them could be like genuine D, but I also think that I can't ever think of the girl's name, but I
Susie?
think she's probably like
I think it's
Susie.
Susie.
Yeah, I think Susie's probably like A or B. Like, I don't think Susie is like, you know. So I think men stink.
They do. They're pretty
She's
stinky.
fine.
He's pretty gross too. He's got like a lot of we got a lot of old like kind of moist blood on him, and that's not going to be fun to smell. Also, I think he might have pooped his pants a little bit.
I feel that. I feel that.
So yeah, I agree, C tier for sure, just because of the average. So next up we have, and this is probably going to be a D tier, but we have the plague.
Okay.
And the smell of just
Oh
like
my
rot
god.
and puke is
no,
probably not very pleasant.
I actually can't even look at her. I have to look away from your stream because I hate her so much.
Okay, yeah, we can kind of
I
skip her
would
then.
say I'm so sorry. I actually
you're
like
fine.
every time that I get into a round with her, I genuinely like want to leave. I would say like she's above clown, but that's it.
Yeah.
Like they are like I would say F tier
Yeah,
or hazard tier starts at Freddy and goes
Yeah.
down from there.
yeah. Also, look at my ghost face.
Ugh, I hate her. Okay. Oh, I don't think Ghostface is that stinky.
No, I'd probably put him like maybe I would not S tier because there's nothing exceptional about him, but definitely A tier. I imagine
Yeah, I don't
he
think he
doesn't really
smells
have much of an odor. So yeah, A tier, is that what we're feeling for Ghosty? Now,
I think
granted,
so. Yep, I think A.
I guess we have to consider the fact like again, all of his stank is masked, right? Like he probably stank, but proximity you can't really smell it because he is like all of his skin is like covered. There is literally no way to catch a whiff of him unless you're like right next to him. So I think that's why A tier. We have the demo puppy.
Oh my god, wait. Daisy said scary movie Ghostface stinks of weed. I 100% agree, actually.
So maybe B
I
tier
would
then?
100%. No, A. Are you kidding
A
me?
tier? Oh, okay.
What is it it with you and thinking
Well,
weed
like,
is stinky.
because like some weed is really stinky. Some weed is like, ugh.
That's true. But I live in California, so it's not.
Yeah, you guys get good stuff out there.
Yeah. Okay, demo puppy.
Yeah, that's a tough one because he's not rotten.
Like, I feel like it's kind of similar to Spirit almost, where it's like he smells so unique and so unlike anything we've ever smelled.
Yeah.
I don't think it can. I don't know with him.
Exactly.
I can't say it's gonna smell good.
He's definitely got bad breath, so that definitely puts him at minimum B tier. Because when he opens that mouth of his, I mean, there are not enough TikToks on the TikToks.
TikTok.
Bless you.
Brain
TikToks.
rot.
There are not enough
Brain rot.
Altoids, Tic Tacs, like Listerine. There is not enough mouthwash in the world to de-stank that mouth. That's all I'm saying. So minimum B tier, but because he is kind of an alien, and he doesn't look dirty. He definitely hasn't, like, he doesn't even have a butthole really. No, there's a little slit there. Yeah, okay, he does have a butthole.
Wow, that's incredible.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, he's crawling on the floor.
Look, he's got a little slit. So I'd say C tier.
First off, don't say it like that. Second, I would say B tier, but I kind of think like I would say really. I think it could go C. I don't know. I would say B is correct.
Yeah,
for
either
now.
B or C.
He's
We'll
not
put
like
him
the
in B.
most offensive. Yeah,
we have
not the most offensive ever.
the Oni. So right out the gate.
I think the Oni smells good.
You think so?
I'll say it.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what were you gonna say?
So he is from a time period where it was very hard to not smell like stank all the time. Because
Sure.
that's that kind of Middle Ages, like, you know, Edo. I don't even know what. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the periods were.
I think it's Edo era,
Yeah.
but I don't know which one he's from either.
Exactly, but he's from that period of like pre-gunpowder and pre-like industrial. So soap was like that was not something that was very common, and he was not living anywhere. He was just going around killing people. And because of his build, he has a lot of testosterone, and that can affect the smell quite a bit. So minimum B tier for me.
Let me see some of his other skins.
Okay. Yeah, we
I
can.
feel like that can be kind of helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have
Maybe I
the
just want him to smell
samurai,
good.
which actually looks really, really sick.
Oh wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's the thing. He wears so much freaking armor.
Right.
It's like you're not really like there is that level of protection. Like you have to really stink for it to like emanate through layers and layers of metal armor. I think personally.
Yeah.
Now he takes off those boots. The entire room is knocking out.
100%. There's also him as a bull.
Oh, but then there's like Minotaur. Ugh.
Yeah, we have to find like canon ones for him. This would be like a canon skin. So yeah, I would say maybe low B.
I agree with B.
Death Slinger. He's probably not going to be very, very pleasant to smell.
Yeah, he's definitely a corpse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's not alive.
So,
but is it C or is it D?
I'm leaning towards C because he doesn't look rotten. He was, I believe he was alive when the entity took him. He was very old. He was very grizzled. He had quite the life, and he's pretty gross looking on the outside.
But it's not like dirt. It's not splattered with blood. Like he's not like, he doesn't have like open gaping wounds.
Yeah.
I'd say C probably.
You think C or B?
I don't know. See, when you say that, maybe B.
Maybe B?
Maybe.
Because I know we're comparing like an average too. Because you compare him to like the Plague, he's definitely a B. He's definitely a B.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good way to think about it, is using Clown and Plague as kind of our baseline, and then going off of that to find the stink meter, essentially.
Well, that's also not really that fair, because their stink is an otherworldly.
Yeah, you got the cowboy stink, not too crazy. Next we have Pyramid Head. So,
you know, it's got to be bad, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
like,
no way.
I think that there has to be a degree of like that space thing that we've said before, because like Silent Hill is so like, it's got to be so weird. You're traveling through space and time. Open wounds everywhere. We do not know what the fuck is going on under that mask.
Yeah,
like it could be straight up rotten flesh. I'd say C. I don't think we're quite at D with him, but I could be wrong.
Daisy says that there might be a lot of smoke smell too because of the lore.
I don't mind smoke.
Very
though.
smoky.
I think like the smoky smell is so good, like the campfire-y, but I agree with shit, wait, that might change things.
Yeah. That could bump it up. We don't know. That might bump it up actually.
I would say that would bump it up for me.
Yeah,
Wait,
so you
Daisy
think
said he has no face?
Yeah, so the idea of Pyramid Head lore-wise is a representation of your sins. And him coming after you is like your sins trying to be atoned for. That's the physical representation of what he is.
Mm-hmm.
He is like punishment incarnate. That's like the idea behind him.
Okay, understanding that he has just a weird fleshy bob for a face.
Yeah.
I think the smokiness, though, no, I think that covers up a lot. I think it's
Yeah.
almost like cologne, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you're thinking a B?
Mm-hmm.
I would say like a low A too. He would be just because of how like yucky he looks. Blight probably gonna go ahead and just go D tier. But we can look at him.
Yeah.
We can give him a chance. So
I do think, I think the Pyramid Head, I think low A makes sense for Pyramid Head. I will be
You
honest.
think so? Yeah.
I think so. I don't think that that's like crazy.
Okay. No, that's not
Because
unreasonable.
again, I think the smokiness probably like
Yeah.
covers up a lot. For Blight, yeah, I think D. I wonder if D or
Yeah.
F.
I would say for him, that's a hard one.
Because he's pretty gross.
There's a lot of them covered, but the stuff that isn't covered is probably pretty vile.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a lot of moist stuff. Like we have internal body fluids coming from the mouth as well as like pus coming from the open wounds and the blisters. So yeah, I would say like maybe a high F for him for sure.
You know, eating right now is such a choice.
We have the twins next. So this one's going to
Yeah.
be tough because it's not going to be nice.
Definitely F. I mean,
Yeah.
there's got to be F.
Yeah.
No fault of their own, because I love the twins. I
No,
think
no, they're
I
great.
love their story.
And the problem here too is like we have to talk about proximity as well of like, and there is just no redeeming. Like I'm saying dry stank, like wet stank. You have a whole human hanging out of an open orifice that's probably covered and God knows what. And they're forest people like that have not bathed in probably months. There's clearly some kind of eczema or psoriasis thing going on here with her,
Oh, wow.
her right arm. Yeah, no, it doesn't. She needs some ointment. I'm not gonna lie. She needs some cortisone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a cortisol shot while we're at it. But yeah, definitely D tier.
I would say F tier,
Mhm.
below, below
Hi.
Freddy.
Yeah, high F. That's where I would rate it. Next we have the Trickster. Oh snap! I know you're excited
S.
for him.
S.
Yeah, no
F.
question. As gross as he is,
I think-
there is no stank that is too repulsive for him.
He genuinely, he could not smell like anything. I would never get rid of him. Look at
No.
his skins though. I mean, he really is not gross and like any
He's
of
not
them.
really. Maybe the doll one, he's pretty yucky in. But
The
again,
doll
it's just
one. I
it's
think
just
I'm a little bit behind
toys.
on your stream.
Oh yeah,
Hold on.
I just got to it.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't think that's that bad. Oh,
No.
he's getting Gojo.
Yeah. Like there's so much product in the hair that on its own is a big part of like the odor.
I would say S. Maybe he's the best smelling character in the game.
Yeah,
Personally.
possibly. Skull Merchant would probably give him a run for his money, but I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Possibly.
We'll see.
God, it's way too well timed tonight. We have the Nemesis, a literal embodiment of just flesh and rage, so that's obviously D tier.
D?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards D. He's pretty
I agree
rancid.
with D.
Yeah, he's pretty
Yeah,
gross.
D, for sure.
After that one, we have the Cinnabon Delight. This is another one. Like he is from his own personal domain of hell. But I feel like they would be weirdly sterile at the same time, just with like their injuries are never infected. Like they're inflamed, but they're never like oozing. You know what I mean?
I dare say,
He wouldn't
because
smell
the
like
only
rot.
wound,
Go ahead, sorry.
no, because the only wound he would have is like there on his stomach, I think, or his like.
Yeah, he's got like cuts going down his chest, and obviously the slices on his head with the needles.
It's kind of hard because I think in comparison to other characters, it's an A. I think he would smell like anything. I don't know.
No, he
I
probably
think
wouldn't.
he's sterile, you know?
And it's also tough to gauge because he is from hell. And it's like, what does stuff smell like in hell? You know what I mean? It gets back to like, it's probably smoky. He might be a little smoky. So you said A tier?
I smell a little burnt.
I'd say A. Yeah, burnt.
Little burnt. Like a low A. All right. Next we have the artist.
She smells like chicken.
And paint. She would definitely smell like paint.
I don't necessarily think it's offensive. I don't think it's like a terrible smell. Like, I don't think that she's rotting.
No, not at all.
So do you know the artist Lore?
Yes.
Her tongue has been cut out.
And her
so
arms
that's the
too.
Only... Yes, but she does have those like magic, like spindly arms. So I don't think that's open. The tongue wouldn't be open, but the only scent that we can conceive of is the feathers.
So I would say oil too, because like the black stuff going down her, I think is meant to be like oil paint. That's one of those dealer's choice kind of. So some people love the smell of that. Some people hate it.
Hunter. Sorry, Hunter is sinking his
bird cage poop.
When my budgie's feathers get wet, there's a very specific scent that they emanate. So I would say B tier.
Maybe B tier?
I'd say B tier.
I think B tier is fair.
Oh, it's Iris's birthday. Happy birthday, Iris.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
dear Iris.
Happy birthday to you. Okay, so B tier for her. Next we have, this is going to be a tough one, I think. We have, where is she? The Onryo, the Oreo. She did come out of a well, and she was in that well for a long time. Let's be real. She was down there for a minute. So we're thinking mold, but the mold would cover any body odor. So there wouldn't be any sweat or anything like that. There wouldn't be any like armpit stink or anything like that. It would just be kind of like maybe a hint of rot. Because when you look at her skin doesn't look rotten. She doesn't look waterlogged, you know?
Like, I bet her skin is so soft because she's just in water.
Oh, 100%. But I think
I agree with mold.
Yeah, a strong hint of mold. So that's a big one right there.
Say C. I mean, it's definitely like a black mold. You know what I mean? Like it's like
pretty bad.
Yeah. I would say C. Like, it's not pleasant, but it's also not like rotted flesh. So it could be worse.
Next is the dredge. Definitely my baseline for the dredge is going to be probably C tier. I feel like there's a strong scent of rot that comes from him, but only when his portal opens. You know what I mean?
I think he's D, personally.
You think
I
D?
think he's disgusting.
Yeah,
Look
he's pretty
at the
gross.
doll skin.
Yeah, oh, I love the doll skin.
So
it's terrifying.
nasty. Oh, I know.
He has some really good skins, like this one.
Like, if we were ranking them in terms of scariest, oh my god!
Yeah, that one's like some real Mad Max stuff right there.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And then the Torment's pretty horrifying. That one's pretty disturbing.
Wow.
Yeah, that one's pretty gnar.
Wait, are those different survivors?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
So I know that's Dwight. I know this is Jake.
Yeah.
I can't
I
tell
don't know
what.
who's at the top there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Wow. Okay, I would say definite D tier.
Yeah.
Not quite F, but definite D.
Dead by Daylight, but I'm a crab.
Dead by Daylight, but I went to the beach.
Next we have the Wesker.
A.
You think A?
Maybe S. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like rotting about him. Well, maybe the arm. Look at him. Look at his little sunglasses and his leather jacket. No.
Yeah, very well groomed, very clean.
Yeah.
Like, compared to other killers, he's probably like the cleanest. Like, it's kind of impressive. I think I'm gonna agree with you. He's probably an S.
Yeah.
I don't know. Until his tentacle comes out, I don't imagine there's much of an odor. Next we have...
Daisy says he is around zombies all the time. I still... I think he's clean. I'm going to stick with S. I'm going to stick with S.
I think S too. But you do make a very fair point, though. I'm glad you...
good points.
Next we have the Knight. Here, I'll switch to his normal skin. Probably pretty bad.
Okay.
It'd probably be pretty bad, but it's like, it's masked. It's very masked, you know?
Initial thought C?
Initial thoughts C, okay. Because there are no good smells about him. It's just how much the bad is mitigated. And the bad is probably pretty bad. Because he's literally never come out of his armor. From a lore standpoint since coming into DBD, as far as I know. And so I'm kind of imagining maybe a B tier until he gets within like 6 feet. And then he's like nasty.
So I think C.
You think C?
I think C. Personally,
like a high C maybe. Next we have our second to thickest killer, the Skull Merchant. She's very well groomed, I will say that for her.
Yeah,
but she's dirty. Stink. She's dirty. Yeah, no, she definitely doesn't stink, but she's a little dirty.
But it's like earth smell.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I would say A.
Yeah, I think A. A is fair.
Yeah.
All right.
She's clean.
Yeah, she's clean. All right, we give her a pass. Like, how do you look at a woman like this and be like, nah, you stank?
I wish she would look at me and pick me up with those big biceps.
All right, we have the singular Larry. I'm gonna go with F.
Singular Larry.
Single Larry.
Now look
Wait,
at
so
look
you
at
said
this guy's
F?
thighs.
For him?
Yeah.
I don't get F at all. He's half metal. The other half is like random flesh bound together, but it's all like alien flesh, right?
Right. So it would have a very unique odor. So maybe D. Maybe D at the minimum.
I think D.
You think D? Okay. My thought was like, just like you were saying, we have some like a lot of random flesh and whatnot, and it's like clearly the flesh is not doing very well.
Right.
We also have some moisture dripping down here, so that would be pretty gnar. And like by the looks of the metal he does have with how stiff his movements are, the metal's probably grinding very heavily, so you're gonna get this little burnt smell, but that's not, you won't get it until you're close. You're gonna smell the flesh sooner than you're gonna smell the metal. But yeah, that's my thought process.
There's also rust, though.
There's
also rust.
Yeah.
I think D is fair. I don't think quite F. I think there are much more offensive killers, but it's not smelling good.
All right, next we have the Xenomorph. The Xenomorph. Okay, where is he? Oh, there he is. Oh, here. Oh, we do be coming though. I'm not sure if my game was bugging or if he was.
No, that's
something.
how he comes down.
Yeah.
That's how he comes down. He's so great. I love him so much. I don't think it's a bad smell. I think it's again like this very like strange, like we don't really recognize it. But I think I'd say B.
Yeah, probably a B, because it's not like a super offensive odor. It would probably just be very unique, and you wouldn't smell him until he's close. But when he's close, it probably would be very unpleasant. So yeah, B.
I think unpleasant though, in the sense that it's like, I don't think it's like super stinky. I think it's just like, oh, that doesn't smell good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, especially because of like the acid part of them too, you know what I mean? Like that's, I think that's most of what the odor is in the saliva.
Yeah.
But I think there's like, I look at him and I don't think the skin is dry. I imagine there's like this very light, oily secretion around its body. You just can't really see it. So next we have the Chucky. I would say A and not, I don't know. I don't know if he really would have much of an, let me look at the skins because Tiff's not a fair comparison.
I don't think he'd smell like, Tiff probably smells great.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd have much of a smell. I think he'd smell like plastic.
Yeah.
I think earlier you were saying like it's really like when he turns into a human, but even then it's a shadow human, you know? I don't think that it's like rotten flesh.
Exactly. So I would say S tier on the lack of, or you think S? Oh no, because S is reserved for people who smell nice too, right?
That's my thing. Yeah. A is like non-offensive.
Yeah,
I think.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
S is you smell great.
Yeah.
A is like you don't smell bad.
So this is probably not going to be a hard one to do. Yeah, Tiff would definitely not stink.
Tiff would smell
never in a million years.
Tiff would smell phenomenal. If it was Tiff, it would be like top of S tier. That girl smells like the craziest vanilla perfume in the world. Don't
ever talk to me or my Jennifer Tilly ever again. So next we have the Unknown. He's an interesting one. They are in it because the Unknown really doesn't have a gender, does it?
Yeah, I think it's. I think isn't the Unknown. Oh my god, I hate when they grow up. Isn't the oh my god, they scare me. They actually playing against the Unknown. I really do get quite scared.
Yeah.
God, the character design is crazy.
It's a tough one because there is not a lot of moisture there, but the flesh, the baseline flesh is very heavily damaged, and so there is some implied rot. And
it also is supposed to be Dwight, right?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Because there's a couple different skins for it, but the recurring theme is that it's not even like... I'm a fan of this one. This one's pretty great. I think I like this one the most.
I actually love that outfit. Oh my god. I'd wear that. Are you kidding me?
Same. Is she just like me for real? But there would definitely be a very unpleasant odor. There's no way S tier. There's no way. Not a chance in hell. But
oh my god, no. Maybe... I think it's really, for me, is it C or D?
Yeah.
Because if they are like dead Dwight, if they are Dwight somehow twisted and then brought in, because I'm pretty sure the Unknown is supposed to be Dwight.
Yeah.
I think that the Unknown has obviously turned into something else, but you have to think that Dwight's body would be like rotting and like, you know, whatever. I say
Maybe
C or
C.
D, but I don't know which one. Yeah.
I'm leaning towards C
Not
because
the
it's
most
like,
offensive.
yeah, definitely not. Okay, this one's a hard one. Withers is what we have next.
Withers.
I mean, he's basically Withers.
Yeah.
He's basically Withers. I mean, how can you look at that and tell me that's not Withers?
That's actually Withers. He's also voiced by Matthew Mercer, so that gives him a lot of points.
True. Because of like
That,
the...
I mean-
Go ahead, sorry.
No, just being voiced by Matt Mercer, I mean, that could make me overlook a lot. A lot. He's from a Dungeons and Dragons universe, so I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying about the Survivor, where it's like, he's not around, so, but also he's an ancient entity who, also look at his waist, non-existent, skinny. But I don't think there's necessarily, I don't think he smells good, but I don't think he smells bad.
My intrusive thoughts kicking in like, look at them birth and hips. Yeah.
B.
You think it B? I agree with B because it's again, it gets back
B,
to the mummy thing. It's like very dry. Okay, so next Dracula. I imagine he probably smells fairly pleasant, but I feel like
I think he smells amazing.
But I feel like
agree.
I'm contradicting because we had a vampire in the Survivors. I was like, he's basically dead. He's bad. He's F tier. So now I feel like I need to walk that back and be like, no, they probably would smell nice.
If this is a safe space to speak my truth, I think this man smells probably S tier.
Yeah, I think so too.
The only stink would be blood, really.
Yeah.
And like, he's not covered in it. Like, he's not a barbarian, you
No,
know?
He
definitely
drinks
not.
blood
Or
from
no.
like a freaking chalice. You know?
He looks like if Astarion from Baldur's Gate 3 was like maybe taking steroids.
Yeah. True.
So I'm gonna give him S.
Yeah, I give him S
like
as
low
well.
S, but S.
Yeah, so my biggest part of that too is like he is a vampire still at the end of the day, and his thing is to have magical powers to lure people to him. And part of that is going to be because, you know, if he's like, oh, come here, I'll give you your desires, and you get there and he smells like poo-poo, sorry, YouTube. No, please, YouTube, no! But yeah, I would say just on the magical powers and the deception part, definitely yes. So that was part of my reasoning. The Houndmaster.
I'm not super familiar with her, but she really looks like she has her stuff together. There's no she's dressed really well. There's no blood. There's no dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, I'd say the dog smells bad, but she also doesn't seem like the type of dog owner who would let her dog smell bad.
That's what,
Does she
yeah.
have skins?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, let's see what she's got.
God, I love her design. She's so
yeah, they
cool.
did a really good job on her. So this is her biggest. 1,700. Her burrowish skin is literally $20. That's crazy.
That is
this?
Whoa!
That's
Oh my
pretty
God,
cool.
they turned him into a little. Oh,
He's
look
a
at the dog.
poodle. He's a poodle.
He's a poodle.
He's so cute.
Oh my God! Imagine there's a skin that turns him into a chihuahua. I'd love that so much.
Ooh, I'm in Dead by
Wait, what does he
Daylight.
look like? What does he look like in the other skins? Just a normal. Oh, just
Yeah,
normal.
I think he's just normal in all the other ones.
Wow.
I'm inclined to agree. It's probably not great just because like the Houndmaster is in the name, and you know it's hard to always smell like a peach around dogs 24/7.
I would say A.
Yeah, A for
No,
sure.
I'd
Yeah,
say.
no disagreement from here. For me here.
But maybe not S, but A.
Yeah, I'm saving that and sending
Now-
it to you.
Hold on, before you do that, where I think that maybe we need to do a little bit more recon is figuring out F tier. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like the
yeah,
bottom
yeah.
of the barrel needs to be at the bottom of the barrel on D.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's the only thing.
Yeah. So we'll drag people out that we think are F tier then from D tier. Okay.
I
like that
think,
idea.
yeah, absolutely.
So Dredge is obviously coming out, right? I can't.
Do you
pull
think
him
Dredge
out.
is? Oh, never mind that. Well, you could put them at the bottom. Can you put them at the bottom? Like, can you organize them so they're at the bottom of the list? You know?
Yeah. I'll put him at the far right.
Yeah.
Nemi
Dredge
for
is not
sure.
the absolute worst. Yeah,
Yeah.
Nemi is definitely F. I think it starts with Kruger. Like, I think Freddy Krueger definitely like starts it off.
Yeah.
I
So
also
you
think the twins are F.
You think he stinks more or less? Because that's what I'm doing. So the right is the stinkiest, the left is the like least stinky
Oh,
in D.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Wait, so it's Kruger, then Plague, then Nemi, and then who's that fourth one?
Oh, that's Dredge.
I think that's all fair. I think Clown
Mm-hmm.
smells the worst.
I honestly thought Plague would smell more offensive than Kruger would. but Kruger definitely would be worse than
the Nemesis.
Yeah, so
I agree with that.
Clown at the very end, because frick Clown.
Yeah, Clown at the absolute lowest. I also think that Bubba might be maybe the top of F tier. Bubba might be the actual start of F tier, above Dredge.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fair. Oh, it's
did we say the twins are F tier too?
Yeah, we agreed that they were F tier, but do they smell worse than the entity? That's my question.
No one smells worse than the entity.
The entity smells like straight up
straight stank.
I mean, booty
cheek even. He smell like bad.
We definitely have more Fs than I initially realized, because do we think the Singularity is an F? I thought the Singularity was a D.
No, I'm happy with him being a D.
Wait, does that mean that Bubba smells better than him?
No, I would say no.
I don't think Bubba. I think he's above Bubba and the twins.
You think so? Okay. What about
I think
Trapper?
definitely the twins.
We didn't really settle on Trapper, did we?
Yeah, where's Trapper?
He's pretty rank. He's at the top of D right now. He's the highest D.
I agree with that.
You think so? Okay.
Trapper and the Singularity are really the only Ds. I think everybody else is F.
Yeah. So we have Trapper, Entity, Twins, Bubba, Billy. So you think Billy is stinkier than Bubba? That's my question.
Ooh, that's
tough. That's tough.
Billy is stinkier than Bubba.
Billy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dredge, Kruger.
Dredge.
Nemesis, Blight, Plague, and then Clown.
I agree with that.
Okay. I'm happy with that. So my next question was...
Clown is the worst smelling.
Do you want to play Faz? Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to drop me a like and a sub. I go live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays, with Tuesday being live Hot Wheels racing. The YouTube gods demand sacrifice in the form of your words. So please word about what killer you believe to be the stinkiest.